Hello students and welcome back to our English vocabulary video series focusing on our word of the week. In this 10th video in our series focusing on different English vocabulary words, we're going to be discussing the word of the week, flummoxed. I'm going to say that a little bit slower, flummoxed. So we're going to dive into the meaning, the definition, also talk about some example sentences, give you some context of how flummoxed is used. It's kind of a more advanced vocabulary word. But as you can tell from this photo here of this young man who's having trouble with these math problems, flummoxed is kind of a sign of confusion given the question marks here. So we're going to dive in, discuss what it means, how do we understand flummoxed, how do we use flummoxed, and what kind of context it's used in terms of English vocabulary. My name is Ben with English from A to Z, and let's get started. So what is the definition, firstly, of flummoxed? We're going to dive into the type of word, the meaning, and some scenarios, real-life scenarios that you can use the word in. So the word of the week is flummoxed, flummoxed. And we have kind of the subtext, kind of how to use the syllables here. And it's two syllables, flummoxed, kind of like an X, but softer, exed, flummoxed, ixed, flummoxed. So I just wanted to help you all at home pronounce this word, flummoxed. It's an adjective, and again, the meaning is you're confused, kind of like question marks over your head. You're completely confused, or another word, bewildered, such as when something or someone even leaves you totally stumped. Could be a thing, could be a person, could be an action that leaves you just totally confused. Context to consider here is that you ever have one of those moments where your brain just short circuits, meaning it doesn't work very well, you're frozen, and you can't think of anything to say or to do or how to act? Yes, that's basically what it means to be flummoxed, or not knowing what comes next or what is happening or what to do. Our brain can shut down during moments of distress or anger or confusion or just not knowing what to do in an unfamiliar scenario. So here are some quick use scenarios you might run into in life. When you get confusing directions is an example of where you could say, I'm flummoxed by them. I don't get these directions. I'm lost. I'm flummoxed. I'm confused, in other words. And then in the sense of pop culture, after a plot twist, when there's a change to a storyline in a movie or TV show even, or when there's a wild ending, that ending flummoxed me. Like, that ending confused me. I didn't know what happened there. You're going to have to explain it to me later. So, plot twist, wild ending, confusing directions. Let's say you have a romantic crush on someone. You like someone. When your crush sends you some mixed signals, you don't know if she likes you or doesn't like you or is interested in you romantically, you could say to your friend, totally flummoxed, man. Totally confused. I don't know if she likes me or not, or he likes me. Totally flummoxed. Could say your friend's name, but in this case, totally flummoxed, man. So those are some quick use scenarios, context to consider. Basically, completely confused, bewildered, stumped, as I said earlier. When something or someone leaves you just scratching your head is another kind of idiom there. You're not sure what to do next, and that happens. Your brain freezes. Your body freezes. You don't know what to do. You're shocked. But flummoxed is kind of what do I do now? So it's an adjective, very descriptive word, and then subtext again, flummoxed. So this is a little tricky word in English, flummoxed. Again, it's completely confused or bewildered. Let's dive in now to some sentence examples with flummoxed and similar words to flummoxed. Otherwise, we call them synonyms. So perplexed is a new one. Perplexed is scratching your head. I don't know, your body language, I'm confused. So it's another word for confused too. Perplexed, bewildered, as I mentioned before. Totally baffled is another one. You're not sure what to do or how to act. Confounded is like confused. It's similar base word here or base prefix here, confused. You could also say confounded. And then again, stumped. It's like when you're going on Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or a game show in your country. There's probably a game show, or if you're in the U.S., Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. When you're stumped, you don't know how to answer the question. You don't know the answer. Your brain is thinking, but you don't know what to say or to do. Let's look at some example sentences now. Number one, I was completely flummoxed by the math problem as it made no sense at all to me. And going back to the beginning, this young man here, this is just a cartoon image, but he's flummoxed by the square root problem and then by maybe the addition problem. So when you're confused, when you got the question marks over your head in this cartoon, that's an example of being flummoxed, in this case by a math problem. When it doesn't make sense to you, you don't know how to solve it. That's flummoxed. Number two, when she started speaking fluent Icelandic out of nowhere, we were all flummoxed by it. Maybe you've heard a language unfamiliar to your ears. You could be flummoxed because people want to understand what is going on around them. And when people speak a foreign language, you can be not upset by it, but you're flummoxed. And, when you're in your own country or in another country, you hear a foreign language, you're curious about it, but you're also like, I don't understand what that means, right? When we don't speak the language, like English or any other language, I don't speak Icelandic, but I was in Iceland a few months ago. When you hear a language you're not familiar with, you're flummoxed. You're like, I don't know what they mean because I don't speak their language. I don't know how to translate it. So you can be kind of taken aback or confused by other languages, and that's natural. We can't all speak every language, right? And then number three, the magician's trick left the entire audience flummoxed and amazed. So sometimes it's a good kind of confusion. So if you're surprised or if you're wowed or you're amazed, you're kind of scratching your head like, how did the magician pull a rabbit out of his hat? Or how did the magician do that trick, whatever it might be? Or how did he fool that person or get a spoon out of their ear or whatever. This magician's trick is a good example of how someone gets confused or stumped on how the magician did that trick. And it's an illusionary game, right? But these are three good examples, like a math problem that could stump you or flummox you when you're confounded or baffled by a foreign language like Icelandic. No offense to the Icelandic learners learning English, but can be perplexing. And then magician's trick can baffle an audience, can flummox an audience. You don't know what to do or to say or how to react. Usually you clap, but sometimes you're just shocked or amazed. So those are some good sentence examples for how we can use this vocabulary word in English in different parts of the sentence, towards the beginning and towards the end. Now, a question for you all at home, my audience, is what does flummox mean to you? How would you use it in a sentence? I want you to name a time in your life in the comments if you can. I want you to participate. Name a time in your life or an action that left you completely confused that could help you create your own sentence with flummox. Let us know in the comments below. Participate. Write a time when you felt flummoxed in life. Maybe it could be a foreign language, a math problem, a magician, or maybe someone who you cared about and you didn't know how they felt about you. So give an example with flummox. I want you all to take what we've learned in these vocabulary videos and apply it to your own life. And just give us a friendly example, if you don't mind, on what flummoxed means to you. Let us know in the comments. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this flummoxed word of the week video. Again, it's an adjective, and I'll pronounce it one more time. Flummoxed, right? So that's 2 syllables. So I do enjoy doing these videos a lot. Check out our other great YouTube videos on our English from A to Z channel, from learning about English slang to analyzing English tips, songs, poems, articles, and much, much more. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I do appreciate it. Click also the subscribe button to follow us here on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or would like to follow our newsletter, go to our website, www.englishfromat2z.com/newsletter. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you all soon for another Word of the Week video. Take care now. Bye-bye.